Should the Washington Wizards be the fourth or fifth team and a facilitator in a potential Jimmy Butler trade? Absolutely 100%. Come on, let me sway you. Next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Woo! Your favorite team now has a newsletter, or your favorite podcast, it is. Introducing the Locked On Wizards Daily Newsletter, a one-stop shop for the ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com, and start your day with all new free Locked On Wizards newsletter. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. For the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get the party started. It's your boy Brandon Scott again, and with my guy AB. A lot to talk about tonight, guys. Look, will the Wizards be, or should they be, the fourth or fifth team in a potential Jimmy Butler trade? Absolutely, and I think they're definitely in the mix. Their name has definitely been involved in a big blockbuster trade in the NBA that is definitely should be happening within the next 48 hours if I'm willing to bet. And then we're going to talk about Kyle Kuzma, obviously him wanting to be out with that process. And look, what can we get a first-round pick, and what kind of package can we get back in return for Kyle Kuzma? Because, again, the grapevine's telling me he is on his way out. So then we're going to go over last night's game against the Clippers and do a preview for tomorrow night's game against the Phoenix Suns. So like I said, a lot to talk about tonight. So let's talk about the first subject of the night, which is, should the Wizards be the fourth or fifth team and a facilitator in a potential Jimmy Butler trade? Absolutely. But look, let your boy sway you real quick. So we're going to look at a few reports real fast. This one's to Evan Cetery. He is the NBA correspondent for Forbes. He says the Wizards are the team to monitor as a potential facilitator, helping Jimmy Butler land with the Phoenix Suns. Rebuilding Washington is willing to take on unwanted contracts. All right, I told y'all, in exchange for draft capital. Plus, they have appealing expiring contracts like Malcolm Brogdon at $22.5 million. So, and we'll look at another report real quick, and this is again through Evan Cetery. He's been really on the money the last couple of days, and he says there is a potential 5-team Jimmy Butler trade framework making the rounds today, where the Suns will get Jimmy Butler, the Bucks will get Zach LaVine, the Bulls will get Bradley Beal and draft capital. Looking at Bradley Beal's connection to Billy Donovan, his college coach, who is now the head coach in Chicago, and the Heat will get Chris Middleton, additional assets and draft capital. So, AB, looking at this, I'm going to make some change of this because I think that the Wizards should definitely get involved. Their name has been synonymous with other teams that want to be a facilitator. So I'm going to say that we absorb Chris Middleton for a first-round pick. Hear me out. And then you're looking to move either Malcolm Brogdon or Kyle Kuzma to the Miami Heat. So what is your opinion on that trade? And, I mean, how many waves would this trade create in the landscape of the NBA, man?
It definitely it'll definitely change the trajectory of the NBA. It's going to be crazy to see. Again, the whole Bradley Beal trade, how he went to Phoenix, that was something. But this 5-team trade, I mean, we saw the news that Milwaukee, and again, like the Wizards, like you want that draft capital because at the end of the day, you take on those contracts, but you think about the timeline and the future of this team, and it only would make sense. And this whole Kyle Kuzma news, like generally this trade deadline is probably going to be one of the biggest trade deadlines, at least for the Wizards this past couple of years, and it's gonna be a lot. We're really gonna have to see what Will Dawkins is made of. Obviously, he's getting a lot of slack for how he handled this Kyle Kuzma situation. Should have been traded sooner rather than later. But at the end of the day, let's see how he does. Let's see what he does, and let's see how much draft capital can he consume before the deadline's up.
I'm gonna say this, and I said it time and time again the last 2 weeks to really hit the last month, man, that you're not gonna get the deal you want, but you can hope to try to get the best deal you can in this situation when it comes to Kyle Kuzma. Like I said, we're gonna talk about him in a bit, man, but I'm targeting Chris Middleton. I'm thinking that you can either flip Malcolm Brogdon, and again, the biggest thing with Malcolm Brogdon is his availability. He has been hurt. 22.5 is a lot to pay for a player who the question is he going to be available down the stretch for a playoff push? But I think, Malcolm Brogdon, he's a good guy for the Heat culture. And I think Kyle Kuzma could fit the Heat culture. Chris Middleton's the guy I'm looking at, and there's true reasons why. Number one, his contract. Now, we know that in 2 years, after 2 years, that is, the first young core player that's up for extension is Bilal Coulibaly. So a lot of decisions before we hit that point. But looking at his contract, now this season he is making $31.6 million. So again, that's not really a problem, man. Like I said, with that salary, if we needed to match salaries, You're probably looking at Kuz or Brogdon and another player, maybe Johnny Davis. Maybe you're looking at Patrick Baldwin Jr. I mean, like I said, we got some capabilities there, but he does have a player option. Now, at 34, is he going to get $34 million at this stage in his career? I don't believe so. So he's probably going to enact that player option. But again, 2 years, he's not really tying us down long term. And he's a guy who, it goes to my second point, which is he's versatile. He played the two guard, he played small forward, and he can play power forward. So if we go in the draft, depending on what direction we go, you got to Cooper Flag. You could probably look at Chris Middleton in the backcourt with Jordan Poole, at least for the next couple of years. Obviously give Bub Carrington the chance to sit back there and marinate with Keyshawn George and run the second unit. And when it's time for him to step up and be the guy, look, then he'll have ample time to develop. I think this is a win-win. Chris Middleton, look, you're not getting the Chris Middleton from 5 to 7 years ago. Let's be real. It's not happening. He's obviously starting to decline. There's a reason why they're willing to let him go, because look, he was a part of their championship team. He's a guy who's been in Milwaukee for a minute. A nice compliment to Giannis Antetokounmpo amongst other people, Drew Holiday at one point. But I think that they're looking to add, a player like Zach LaVine, who I think could fit into Milwaukee, be that scorer. Bradley built a connection with Billy Donovan in Chicago. I mean, that's his college coach going back to Florida. Obviously Jimmy Butler going to Phoenix. I think it's a win-win for the Wizards. You're able to get something for Kuz. Now, looking at the draft capital, when it comes to Milwaukee, you're looking at 2031. So, and a lot of people are like, I don't want these late picks. And I get that. You want picks that you're going to see sooner. But the thing is with draft picks, man, is this. Those later picks work in our favor, because when it comes to making that Donovan Mitchell type move to push our team over from being playing team to a 6 seed, you're going to want that major acquisition and 6 draft capital to do so. Rudy Gobert, it took first-round picks to acquire him. Karl Anthony Towns took first-round picks to acquire him. Donovan Mitchell, the list goes on. Paul George, the list goes on, man. That you need that draft capital to pick up that one major acquisition to really go over the next step with your team. So 2031 is better than nothing. I mean, you take what you get, man. I mean, maybe you can try to finesse other teams in the deal, see what you get in Miami. There's other teams who may be willing to give up draft capital. And like I said, we're going to talk about Jonas, because Jonas Valanciunas, you're not going to get a first for him. You're looking at 2 second-round picks. So you got to take what you can get. And like I said, I am a fan of this front office. I've been a big supporter since day one, because starting a new era, you want to have a new attitude. You want to give them the ample chance to prove that they can hold down the job and really be, really lead this team into the future. Now, I would say this, a lot of people, looked at the front office and said, you didn't get anything for Tyus Jones or KP. I think we all knew that it was going to happen. You know what I mean? So, but to me, this is the one first chink in the harbor, man. I mean, this is the one first mistake in my eyes under this front office, because you had to move Kuz when his trade value was at a zenith, and they didn't do so. And it really mirrors Bradley Beal to a certain point, because at the end with Bradley Beal, you had to take whatever you could get, and we're able to pull Chris Paul, who ended up being Jordan Poole, so we kind of finesse a decent deal out of it. But I mean, you can take whatever you can get at this point, and that's the thing. You have to hit the market at the right time. And I think that it behooves Will Dawkins to be that 4th or 5th team and be a facilitator. So, I mean, what do you think, AB? I mean, looking at all parties real quick, you think it's a win-win for everybody involved?
Definitely. I think, again, you got to get what you get with Kyle Kuzma. Recently, I mean, I think just last night against the Clippers, 7 points. At one point, this dude was averaging 20-plus a game, and now I think he's just below 15. So, obviously, you wanted to strike when the iron was hot, and at the end of the day, the reality situation is you get what you get. And for the Wizards, just moving on from Kyle Kuzma, and however ugly this is just something you'd rather do now rather than later. If you keep dragging it on, it's going to end up looking really bad. And you might not get even close to what you could imagine.
Oh, absolutely. You brought the name up already, Kyle Kuzma. So we're going to talk about Clutch Kuz in a minute. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. From the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. That's $300 to keep the action going, y'all. The FanDuel app is easy to navigate with a variety of bets. Keeps every game exciting. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around for your winnings. Whether you're betting on your favorite team or just looking to add some extra excitement to the playoffs, FanDuel has you covered. Look, right now, just visit FanDuel.com to join today and get started with $300 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the National Football League. Who we already mentioned the name, Kyle Kuzma, aka Clutch Kuz. Now, I got it on good authority that he will be on the move by the end of this week at the latest. And like I said, we put the previous video out. And the reason for that is that when the news first came out that Kyle Kuzma asked out. And like I said, it wasn't really a known thing. Like I said, it was coming from a source. And at the time, it was kind of hush hush. So I kind of held back on the video, as you guys know, but we went ahead and re-released it. So we definitely recommend you guys check it out. It was released in the New Year's Eve, matter of fact. So it kind of breaks down everything connected to Kyle Kuzma. But like I said, he has asked out, and from the source I've talked to, that shout out to him. You already know who you are. He's wanted out for some time, probably 30 days at this point. So, like I said, looking at Kyle Kuzma, man, he wants out. I think the writing's been on the wall for some time this season. Multiple reasons why, but looking at Kuz and really leading into Jonas Valanciunas, has the ship sailed on the first round pick, AP?
Yeah, I think it has been, unfortunately, as much as I hate to admit it, because at one point the talent and the value was there. It's just at the end of the day, Kuzma just hasn't been pleading his case about why he's worth a first round pick. Because, like I mentioned, the 14 points per game is just inexcusable, especially where if you're a contending team and you want him to be plugged in. And at best, right now, it could be a fourth option. I mean, at one point it was third and even second. But at the end of the day, the Wizards, this is the reality situation, and they're just going to get what they get. I know us Wizards fans hate hearing second round picks, but I think that just might be the end of the bargain.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just time. I think that, again, my reasons for that is I think that Jordan Poole has proven enough that he's ready to lead this team, at least for the next couple of years. We know that at some point contract situations are going to be kind of sketchy about what direction to go with this team and the personnel they have on it now. And you got to imagine they're going to prioritize the young core, man. But we'll kind of, we'll talk about that when we get there. But like I said, it's time. Bilal, I think, is ready for him to see what you have in him. Truly, what is his ceiling this season, because he's shown that he's ready to take that step. But it's just, like I said, it's just time. He's not a guy that's really burnt a lot of bridges. I mean, bad body language. I mean, if you really want to knick-knack and go after, the X stuff, the political stuff. I mean, I never really tripped about it because I feel like you say whatever you want. But he's had his moments. But don't be that team. But I don't
that's
think
that's the big one. I'm sorry, that was the big one for me.
I mean, I get it, but I don't think it's enough to really hate the guy. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't come in here. I mean, if we're willing to, build bridges again with Gilbert Arenas, which, you can argue what he did was way worse than anything that, Kuz did. And I'm a big Gil fan. And Gil is one of the best Wizards ever put the uniform on. But if we're going to call a spade, let's do that. You know what I mean? So it's just time. It's time to move on. And I think that he knows the writing's on the wall. He's going to try to get that next ring, find, catch on with a contender and move on with the next stage of his career. And I wish him the best. But, the fact of the matter is they should have moved him when it was the appropriate time to move him. And like I said, big fan of the front office. And I still think it's too early to really formally say, oh, man, they're not, it's year 2 of a rebuild. But I'll say this is the first real mistake. I wasn't sweating ties because I knew there was the capability. It was that chance that he was going to walk for nothing. It was a chance. Same thing with KP. So the fact that we got something, in the event of KP, which ended up being ties. So if you really look at the trade with it, but it is what it is. I felt like it was always there. It was always something that could happen. Now, I think this is one real mistake when it came to not hitting the market at the right time. I'm not knocking them for the 2 first-round picks. You aim high in negotiations. I get all that. But, you got to hit the market while it's hot, man. And, you could argue when they talked to Dallas, they wanted us to take on Grant Williams. I agreed to not taking on that contract. So maybe in hindsight, it was a good move just sending them Gafford, because Gafford seems to fit. He's doing well there. We got draft compensation. They ended up being Keyshawn George. So, look, everybody won, right? But I felt like the draft was the best chance because, if you look at Denny, what Denny's doing, man, look, the Lakers are looking at Denny. So he's got some value. And I feel like if at 13 you move Kuz to Sacramento, which is his name's been connected to them for like the last 2 to 3 years, we win in that deal. And, you get the 13th pick, you still retain Denny, you still get Bub, you still get Keyshawn, you still have the same draft, and you're still able to retain Denny. So, like I said, that ship has sailed as far as, it is what it is. But, we'll slide into Jonas Valanciunas. It's the same. His name has been, heavily linked to the Lakers. And the Lakers said, look, they told their GM, we need a big man. Look, is the time now to go ahead and make that phone call to Lakers, AB?
Of course, man. The Wizards and Lakers, man, they love making trades with each other. Yeah, JV, I think a good fit in Los Angeles because, again, the Lakers desperately need that big to accommodate Anthony Davis. And JV, he's proven it time and time and again. In the past, whether it was Memphis Toronto. He's been that guy where he can double machine. And even in the Wizards team where clearly you're not winning, he's still going out there and producing. So, yeah, JV, it's going to be interesting to see what teams will give up for him. And I can't wait. And, again, he was a great mentor for Alex Sarr, a young guy here. So,
yeah.
I appreciate his time and effort here. And I just can't wait to see what he does. And if it's LA.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I think you go ahead and make that call. Grab those 2 second-round picks. I think those 2 second-round picks will come in handy. Definitely if you want to move back into the first round. Because like I said, general manager Will Dawkins, man, he is definitely looking to cook, man. He's gonna get his Gordon Ramsay on, man. He's definitely looking to cook. So, like I said, look, the hot stove season is getting hot in the NBA, man. So, all right, real quick, we're gonna go over last night's game where the Wizards lost both LA games, first against the Lakers and then the Clippers. But last night they lost to the Clippers 110-93. James Harden dropped a triple-double. He dropped 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. And Kawhi Leonard actually showed up and played, Lord have mercy, with 15 points and 7 rebounds. Norman Powell, 22 points. So, I mean, it was a close game per se to a certain degree. If you look at the breakdown, the Wizards did win both in the third quarter, and we were tied in the fourth quarter. So, was this a simple case, AB, of not playing all 4 quarters with the Wizards?
Yeah, it seems to be like that. And again, we always mention the talent gap. That's going to be majority of teams. James Harden just triple-double doing his thing, and Kawhi Leonard coming back. And then a lot of guys were in double digits with Jones Jr. and Norman Powell. So it is what it is. But again, the Wizards, as much as we harp on them about defense and stuff, it's all about effort. And again, there was that stretch of last week when they were getting blown out by 40 at home to teams that we thought should not have been beating them by that much. So it's good to see some improvement. And JP had a 24 points, so that was another good thing to see. And I know the All-Star starters came out big. That was something to talk about too. I don't know if you heard about LaMelo. We'll get to that later. But yeah, man, it's just the Wizards. LA. This is the Western this road trip. There's going to be a lot because you're playing against teams like the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Clippers and the Suns coming up. So it's going to be a rough stretch. But at the end of the day, all we want to see is improvement.
Yeah, we definitely go talk about the All-Star game, man. But yeah, I mean, real quick, my take on the game, man. Same issues. I mean, perimeter defense, making, the defensive switches have been slow. Transition defense. I mean, if you look at the shooting numbers for the Clippers, they shot 45%. And then for 3-point, 34.2. And then on the flip side, we shot 34% and from 3-point, 23.9%. So they shot good. We didn't. I mean, that's what it comes down to, man. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the second half of the season, getting past the trade deadline, because you're going to see more extended minutes for the young guys. But most nights is going to be a talent gap, and that's what it is. Like I said, we have a very nice young core here, a lot of nice pieces. But the fact of the matter is, we're not ready. We're not quite ready yet, and we're still young and improving. And it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just it is what it is. So I'm with you on that. And they're just a better team. They are currently 6th in the West, so they got playoff aspirations. Excuse me. And I mean, they gave up 19 points to Derrick Jones Jr., which he's very limited, more of a high flyer. But I mean, there were some bright moments. Like I said, Jordan Poole was aggressive. Now, if you want to really be, really look at the numbers, you can say inefficient, 6 for 19, 4 for 12 for the field, but 8 for 8 for the charity strike. But look, with aggression again comes at the expense of efficiency. So he did contribute 24 points and 9 assists. So he was definitely trying to create for others, man. Bub, a better night. Look, Bilal, not a bad night, man. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 1 for 7 for 3. But look, he's shooting that shot, so we'll take that confidence, man, over production. As much as it's weird to say that. Alex Sarr did not have a bad game, man. 14 points, but 10 rebounds. Very encouraging.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Alex Sarr. Hey, remember the guy that everybody was calling a bust. I'm just saying. So, I mean, he looked good, but the second unit was Jonas Valanciunas, and that was about it. But I think that, again, Kyle Kuzma, not his best night. Don't want to really harp on Kuzma, because like I said, do like Kuz, man. But it is what it is, but not his best night. 7 points, 7 rebounds. But 3 for 12 from the field and 1 for 3 from 3, 2 turnovers. So it is what it is. He did struggle, and I think that maybe some nervousness. Like I said, the psychology of a player, man. You know that when moves being made, you got to make accommodations. So like I said, there's very real feelings going on. So like I said, not his best showing, but like I said, he is definitely. It looks to be that he's definitely going to be on the move. So like I said, that the trade season is heating up, baby. So when we know, you guys will know. We're going to go live each and every trade leading up to the deadline, because it is February 6th. So we are definitely excited about the trade deadline because look, it's the next era of Wizards basketball. We're going to see a younger team in the second half, and you're going to see a younger team next year, guys. So, like I said, we're heading in the right direction, but we're just not quite there. But it, like everything else, man, is about the journey. So let's get in the comments. But we're going to do it. Well, matter of fact, before we get in the comments, we're going to do a quick preview for tomorrow night's game against the Suns. I'm about 50-50 if we're going to go live. So I definitely will let everybody know if we do indeed go live for tomorrow night. But let's get into comments. But before we do, let's talk about TalkSpace. Therapy is a game changer. It can help manage stress, improve sleep, and communicate more effectively. But finding the right therapist and fitting sessions into a busy schedule can be a challenge at times. That's where TalkSpace comes in. TalkSpace, the leading virtual therapy provider, makes getting help you need easy, accessible, and affordable. Like I said, they hit the nail on the head when it comes to the major parts, where the major areas where a lot of people either don't get into counseling or the reason, and the reason why you should definitely get into TalkSpace, which is easy, accessible, right? It's affordable. It's to your schedule. So it's based off you when you feel like doing it, So as a listener to this podcast, you'll actually get $80 off your first month with TalkSpace when you go to TalkSpace.com/LockedOnNBA and enter promo code SPACE80. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to TalkSpace.com/LockedOnNBA and enter promo code SPACE80 to get $80 off your first month and show your support for the show. Appreciate y'all. That's TalkSpace.com/LockedOnNBA. Promo code SPACE80. All right, man. Let's get into this preview real quick. So let me pull up the schedule. So as you guys know, tomorrow night they will be playing in Phoenix against the Phoenix Suns, who are a team that's going to be very, very active. So we shall see. Maybe a deal might go between this time and then. Maybe Jimmy Butler's a Sun then. I don't know. But for right now, we're going to see former Wizard Bradley Beal in Phoenix. So I guess real quick, I'm not going to get too deep into the keys of victory because we do have comments. And so real quick, what is the major matchup you want to see from this game, AB?
Closing out shooters, man. Phoenix, they got D-Book, Grayson Allen. We saw the last time in DC. D-Book, I think, had a 37 piece. So, again, closing out on shooters, playing perimeter defense, it's huge. I know we've been struggling with it, but it's just something you just got to improve on. And also just be more aggressive. We talk about it night in and night out. Some of the young guys settling with threes rather than taking to the hole. It's a young team, but we want to see improvement. So going to the basket, there's no harm in that. We've been trained to do it as a kid, so why not do it right now against the Phoenix Suns? And again, a Phoenix Suns team, KD, D-Book, these guys are legit. So as a young team, a young squad, you want to see these guys play against the best and see how they do. It might be a tough game, but at the end of the day, you just want to see improvement, and we hope to see that from the Wizards.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think that this is going to be a game where if you do not clamp them down and communicate and get down in transition and close out shooters and make defensive switches faster and protect the paint, they're going to humble you, man. D-Book, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, they will humble you. These are three of the most prolific scorers in the game right now, amongst others, obviously. But these guys, they can score. Now, defense, I think that's the part where we should attack. So, to me, it's rebounding. Obviously, we got to control the paint. 2, defense, every aspect of defense, especially communication. Talk to each other, man. Learn how to make switches faster on defense, man, so we don't get caught up with those mismatches. And then offensively, attack the basket, man. Attack into the free throw line, collapse that defense. And look, you collapse that defense, man, set people up on the outside, whether it's JP Kuz, whether it's Keyshawn George or Corey Kispert. Let's line them up, man, because I guess real quick, you can do it real quick before we get in the comments. What's your prediction?
I think the Suns will win, but I think we'll keep it close. I think I wanted to harp on it's Mason Plumlee, the starting center for Phoenix, right?
Yeah, for right now it is. Yeah,
right now. So what I'm saying, I know last game we didn't see much out of Alex Sarr, but this game, if there's any game when I see Alex Sarr improve, it's because Mason Plumlee isn't obviously, he's not the elite of the elite. He's a center, but if you want to see Alex Sarr improve, this is a game where hey, why not be Mason Plumlee? Go out there and show why you're going to be a top 5 center in the NBA soon.
Yeah, I agree with you, but then they also traded for Nick Richardson. He's a guy who always puts up good performances against the Wizards. So we'll see. Like, I definitely think this is the matchup with Nick Richards and Plumlee versus Sarr and Jonas Valanciunas that we should take advantage of it, man. Definitely hold down the paint, take control of the paint, definitely with offensive rebounds, extend possessions, get those second chance points. I think this is a time to, if not win, definitely get to one of those culture games, man. Play hard. Play this team hard.
Win the turnover battle. I've always shout out to my boy Ed Oliver. He used to always harp on that when I used to watch him as a kid, and it's always ingrained in my brain.
There you go. You heard it here first, man. So there we go. Let's get in the comments, man. All right. Definitely appreciate everybody tonight. All right, so this is to kick everything off. Anti-social extrovert says, "Happy Friday. Hope all is well." The Wiz miss how many threes? How many Clipper players were in foul trouble? The game plan had to change. Yeah, absolutely on that one, man. And he also says, "Oh, one more thing. Hoping we can take on bad contracts and draft picks. How did Utah pull off their trade? Last thing, Jay Davis looks to be a sleeper keeper. Maybe I'm intrigued for another year with with Johnny Davis, but I mean, it's kind of 50-50 with me right now. But you know, we'll see. Because I think the keepers are obviously I mean, let's be real. Champagne's a keeper. So that's gonna be my guy, man. Marvin Bags with the injuries, that is a concern. Let's see. Locked on Law says, when it's the Wizards, it's not a blockbuster trade, it's a ball buster trade. I like it. I like it. He also says, and the Wizards will get a second round pick. Yeah, I think it's gonna be, I think everybody wins in that trade, AB. I think everybody definitely wins in that trade. It's just what do you need out of that trade? With us is the expiring contract, which if it comes with a first round pick, yes, it's gonna be 2031, but it's better than nothing, man. I mean, it's better than nothing. So you take what you can get, in my opinion. Let's see. Bucket Getter says, "Don't let these final scores fool you. We haven't been in any game this road trip." Nah, I definitely agree with that. Felt we were hitting a stride, and you can see the vision, but now it's just rough. It's about the journey, and the journey is rough. So it's definitely about the journey, man. Let's see. Bucket Getter says, if we can move Kuz, we should get into any deal. Like I said, they say Brogdon. I mean, I'm definitely going with Kuz because he's only got $1 million more, and most of the major players in this deal are making a lot more than 23. So I don't think that's going to be an issue in this deal. Let's see. Real Clips, how you doing? It says, I think Kuz will be in a 3-team trade. Not going to lie. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be included in most trades. I mean, look, he's asked out, and while it's been kind of a hush hush, but now I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah, I talked direct from a source. Yeah, he asked out, man, and it's been for some time. So you got to accommodate him. I mean, thank you for your service, but it's time to accommodate him. And like I said, Chris Middleton, you're not getting your Chris Middleton from 5 years ago, but he's still a guy who can mentor. Like, he's been in the game, and like he can definitely be a good mentor. It's only 2 years, and like I said, it's not a long-term handcuff to this franchise, man. And we'll see. Maybe he says, "Oh, I can go out there and make more money," and doesn't enact a player option. Now, I think that at 34, declining player, no disrespect, it is what it is, but he's probably going to enact that player option. So definitely, if he is acquired, definitely expect him to stick around through next season. Let's see. And also says, Real Clips also says, Kuz needs a reboot. What a better way than put him on a new team. Yeah, I didn't change the scenery. Like, definitely wish him well. Like I said, definitely, wish, he finds success in, somewhere else, man. But it is what it is, man. Let's see. Oh, Alex in Adelaide says, need more info about that hat, Brandon. Well, man, great question. Well, number one, this is the AA affiliate of the the Washington Nationals, so it's the Harrisburg Senators. And my cousin is actually the manager, Delano DeShields, man. So shout out to my cousin, man, who's the manager over there for the Harrisburg Senators. So that's why I rock the hat, supporting family. And, I'm a Nats fan, so, that's their AA team. So that's the hat, the Harrisburg Senators, man. And if you guys ever get a chance, if you want to go on a road trip, go to minor league games, man. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is dope, man. The stadium is literally on an island in the middle of the Susquehanna River, so it's pretty cool, man. Nice view of the skyline. So let's see. Gideon says, whatever gets the vets traded, yeah, join in with the trade. So let's see. I ain't forgot about you, AB. Trying to buy something, man. Let's see. This is Gideon says, I agree with Locked on Law. Brian Keefe, isn't it? As a head coach, he's just a great developmental player coach. There you go, AB. That's the end, man. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you think that it's too early to really critique Brian Keefe?
I think so, because again, you have to look at the cards that he's dealt with. He's the first-time head coach, first-year head coach, and with these young guys that he's played with, finding that balance between giving the vets a good amount of minutes, but also wanting to develop your young guys, it's pretty difficult. And the Wizards right now, with only they only won 6 games, so it really is hard to assess them. I think it's too early to call him a bad head coach. I think year 2, we mentioned it, or not year 2, year 3, whatever you want to say it, year 2 as a full head coach, that's where we have to see some form of improvement. And if not, then there's cause for concern.
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely agree 100%. So let's see, guys. Around the 30-minute mark, so we can try to knock out everybody's If we can, Bex Tech says, would it help us get rid of Kuzma? If so, sign me up. I mean, he's pretty clear what his intentions are. Let's see. Book a getter, man. He says JP is cooking. We are in the game. All our wins are led by him. He's definitely contributed, but I can't say it all on him. He can't do it all. No one is stepping up, and with Kuz, players are getting blocked. I will agree with that assessment. I think that, and look, we all knew what it was going into the season. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma were going to be the first and second option. I think the biggest question is who's that third and fourth option. That's where I think you want to see Bilal and Alex R step up and be those guys. And I think that's so you at times you have seen that. And I think they both have struggled at times for different reasons. Looking at Bilal, it's just I think he second guesses himself. He holds back sometimes because there is a little bit of pressure on him because of his improved play in earlier part of the season. So he definitely so I think just play your game. I think if he just plays his game, he would be okay. And then Alex R, we knew he was raw offensively just like Bilal, but you see him getting better. So I mean, JP has definitely played at all-star level, but I'm not gonna say it's just him leading the charge. I mean, even though you can argue, most games he is the most productive. Yeah, I heard that, but I mean, I think the defense from the young guys have had a factor. There's other factors, but so I agree and I disagree, but overall I do agree. If that makes some kind of sense. So, I mean, let's see. Alex and LA, it's a nice one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys, we're gonna try to do probably 1 to 2 more. Dan Tico 84 says give Suns Jonas. That's not bad. I mean, we'll see. We see if they fit him in because I think there's gonna be multiple moving pieces in this trade for the Wizards, man. Dan also says who could we honestly get if we help with the Butler trade? Maybe Nurkic. I mean, to me, it's Chris Middleton. I think that he's been linked to this before. He was actually linked to us last year. I think he may be the guy because I mean, here's the thing: Miami, Pat Riley has said that they're still trying to compete. Even though I believe now they're middle of the pack right now in the East, they're still trying to compete. And does Chris Middleton make them better? I mean, if you lose Jimmy, you're not getting better with Chris Middleton at this point, and that's just being 100. Nothing against Chris Middleton, but you're not a better team with Chris Middleton. He's a declining player who there's a reason why they're trying to trade him. I mean, if he was still, if they still looked at him as a central piece of a competitor, he would not be on the trade market. So I see that he's the perfect fit of Wizards. I don't see any other team where it fits as far as the major pieces of this trade because Phoenix doesn't want him. I mean, the Bulls don't want him. You know what I mean? And, so I think that the perfect situation is Chris Middleton. Nurkic, I don't know, man, because I mean, I want to see what Tristan Vucevic can do in the second half of the season, man. I mean, you got to see what he can do. So, is that kind of how you're feeling, AB?
No, definitely. I think at the end of the day, the Wizards, it's all about this timeline. And right now, developing the young guys, I think post-trade deadline is the number one objective. Because at the end of the day, we know what we got with these vets. You got these vets to just get some value out of them, maximize their value, and trade them away for future compensation. And now it's all about the young guys, developing them, and see if they're part of a championship squad potentially here in DC.
Absolutely. TJ Hook says, what are your guys' thoughts on Vucevic's potential long term? I think he's balling. I think he can definitely be a solid role player. I mean, he can stretch the floor. He's a 7-footer. He can defend. He's got certain things to work on defensively, but he has rim protection potential. What do you think, AB?
No, definitely. Again, with the Wizards, like for so long, second round picks didn't really matter. They were automatically sent overseas. But now we saw Vucevic. He shown flashes. So again, a guy that I can't wait to see how he fits with this timeline, especially with guys like Champagnie, Jared Butler, a lot of young guys here in Washington that I really can't wait how they perform when the offensive usage goes up post trade deadline.
I agree 100%, my brother. Let's see. Bucket Getter says, I agree. I was responding to a comment. What Bilal does is so important. He was just as important. I don't want to see. Oh yeah. I know. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Nah, that's all love, man. Nah, I get what you're saying, man. I totally get what you're saying. It's all love, man. So all right, look, that might be it. Let's see. I think Bucket Getter has one more comment. It says, without Kuz, you saw Bilal and JC have multiple 29 plus things. Oh yeah, that is a very valid point. Way more fluid offense and ball movement. I agree 100%. So we're going to go ahead and call it there. So looking forward real quick, what is our itinerary coming up this week? A lot going on, guys. Like I said, when any trade goes down, this should be your number one source because when we know, you will know. So we'll definitely go live after any deal, man. But looking forward tomorrow, the game, we're probably not going to live tomorrow. Saturdays are give or take. West Coast I'm kind of want you guys to enjoy your weekend. I'm just being honest, man. Because it's a 9 o'clock game, so realistically, we're looking at around 11:30. So we're probably just going to go ahead and cover the Suns recap on Monday, and we'll do the preview for Monday night's game at Dallas. And then next week they have Wednesday is at home. They're back home against Raptors, and then Thursday the Lakers. So I will be covering the team on Thursday, so I will be there present at the post-game press conference. So definitely look forward to. I'm gonna release every question and answer on X and here on Twitter. So definitely look out for that. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a night, everybody. So like I said, Friday night we started on Friday off right. Appreciate everybody showing out tonight. A lot of big things happening in the NBA landscape. So again, guys, when anything happens, even if it happens tomorrow, we will go live. So any trade goes down, but look, it's going to happen. And so hopefully, we get in the mix AP and we get in this trade and we get something out of it, man, especially draft capital. You take whatever you can get. And I think that time's up for Kuz in DC and Jonas Valanciunas. Definitely thank you for your service, but it appears the time is up. So
my bad, B. I saw Bucket Getter's comment. He said, "Go Birds." Clearly, we don't.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
Hold up, real quick. We gotta pull this up. What's going on? We got our guy Ed Oliver, man. What's up, man? This the real Ed Oliver. How you doing tonight, brother? Says, "Sup, fellas." Commander's prediction: Kuz trade value is a couple of second-round picks. Yeah, it appears his trade value is a half smoke and a pack of cigarettes. But let's see. Commander's prediction. Man, look, Ed, come on, man. You already know, bro. You already know me. We're gonna win. We're gonna make the Eagles we're gonna be the Eagles' daddy on Sunday. Come on now, rock with your boy. Go Birds. See, Bucket Getter, you were my guy, man. He's still my guy, man. But come on now, you gotta start with that mess. Go Birds. With the pigeons. Come on now, stop it. Hey, I don't know if everybody saw, but they put a I can't see, obviously can't see the word on here, but the former name of the Commander's jersey on
yeah.
I mean, come on now. I mean, that's funny stuff. And I don't want to hear anything for that. Like I say, we got some Go Birds. It's all good, definitely, appreciate the love, but you guys know the time's up. And I think Jalen Hurts is hurt, man. No pun intended. But so look, you ain't got no Jalen Hurts, man. It's gonna be a long day. So but it's all love, guys. For all my Eagles fans out there, it's still love, man. We got another one. Chuck Van Toon, how you doing tonight? Go Birds. And Nomadic Brian says, look, go Bills. Man, I would real quick before we roll, man. I don't know about you, but I would look forward to a Bills and Commanders Super Bowl. What you think?
Oh, definitely. I just don't want the Chiefs to win again. B. Obviously, I want us to win, but the Bills would be nice because Josh Allen. I mean, he's been playing like an MVP this year, and again, I don't think anyone outside of Missouri, no one is rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ain't nobody trying to root for the Chiefs, man, but Taylor Swift. That's it. So we're gonna go ahead and call it night, everybody. Definitely. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you guys see the other video with the mayor of.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's gonna be if they lose, that's gonna be the biggest meme of the century.
Oh my Lord, can't even spell Eagles. Good Lord Almighty, it's gonna be a long day on Sunday, y'all. So again, real quick, everybody, if you drink or smoke, please do it at home. Do not drink and drive. Do not smoke and drive. Don't smoke and drive. Look, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Do not do it. I hope everybody has a safe and blessed weekend. And again, we will see you guys on Sunday night to recap Saturday's game. And like I said, any deal goes down, we will be your first source, man. So definitely holler at us, man. We will go live. So, but because I'm trying to tell you, man, this trade is going down. It's just ain't a matter of if, it is a matter of when. So, all right, everybody. See you guys on Sunday. Hail to the Wizards and peace.